even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
On a mild summer day 50 years ago, more than 250,000 people gathered in Washington, D.C. for what has been called the greatest demonstration for freedom in the nation's history, the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. Surrounded by a massive police presence and with the recently televised images of police brutality in their minds, marchers carried the signs from the Washington Monument to the Lincoln Memorial to a chorus of "We Shall Overcome." They marched for civil rights, legislation, desegregation in schools, and economic equality. The lone Catholic chairman in a voice from the podium that day was a 31-year-old, bow-tied, mild-mannered Johnny named Mathew Ahmann. This young man may be one of the least known but most important figures in the history of Catholic support for the civil rights movement in the 60s. Ahmann's journey to the podium of the March on Washington and into the heart of the civil rights movement started in what many would consider an unlikely place, the northern, predominantly white community of St. Cloud, Minnesota. Matt graduated from St. John's Preparatory School and St. John's University with a degree in social science. Trained in the Catholic intellectual tradition, surrounded by liturgical reform and serving in student social organizations, put Ahmann's ideas into action. Ahmann was appointed the founding director of the National Catholic Council for Interracial Justice in 1960.
We are calling for a non-violent, peaceful march on Washington. We want to go there not by the hundreds, not by the thousands, but by the hundreds of thousands. We are determined to be free in 63.
Ahmann's speech, just minutes before King's, called Catholics to action.
Our next speaker will be Mr. Mathew Ahmann, Executive Director, National Catholic Conference for Interracial Justice.
We are gathered a long 100 years after Lincoln declared slavery at an end in the United States. Yet slavery is all too close to us as we demonstrate for equality and freedom today. We have permitted evil racial discrimination to remain with us too long. Never before has the direction we must take been so clear. The balance yet lies with the silent and fearful American. We dedicate ourselves today to secure federal civil rights legislation which will guarantee every man a job based on his talents and training. Legislation which will do away with the myth that the ownership of a public place of business carries a moral or legal right to reject a customer because of the color of his hair or of his skin. We dedicate ourselves to guarantee by legislation that all American citizens have integrated education and the right to vote on reaching legal age. We dedicate ourselves today to secure a minimum wage which will guarantee economic sufficiency to all American workers and which will guarantee a man or a woman the resources for a vital and healthy family life, unencumbered by uncertainty and by racial discrimination. We dedicate ourselves to building a people, a nation, a world which is free of the sin of discrimination based on race, creed, color, or national origin, a world of the sons of God, equal in all important respects, a world dedicated to justice and to fraternal bonds between men. These are goals the Catholic community shares with all other Americans. those of us who are gathered here before the Lincoln Memorial and those of us gathered in witness around the nation pledge ourselves that now is the time we will respond to the demand of our conscience. Pledge ourselves that now is the time we grasp the ideal our faiths and our Constitution hold before us. There is no turning back. In a decade or less, we will have done our utmost to have secured a community of justice and fraternity and love among us, or we will have laid the seeds of our own destruction.